Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to SA Accounting Academy. Here's a short clip on one of our previous webinars. I hope that you really do enjoy it.
It's 9 a.m. and we're going to be talking about drafting financial statements today on Draftworx. It's Friday morning, a bit chilly today. So hopefully some financial statements talk is going to warm you up. So what I'm going to be going over today is Draftworx Cloud and basically how to perform a set of financial statements, compiling them on the platform and everything around the platform. Now we have Draftworx Cloud, but we also have a desktop solution. I'll chat quickly about both, and we'll chat a bit about XBRL and a few things that are coming in the industry in South Africa. So hopefully you'll get quite a little bit out of the session. And please, if there's any questions, just pop them in. I will be monitoring or will be able to answer whatever it may be. Okay. I'm going to switch my video off, so then everything is just going to be concentrated on the screen. But please just shout and I'll switch on at the end of the session, and we'll chat more around Draftworx and take any questions that you may have. Okay, so let's jump in. So looking at my share, you'll see a web browser. This is Google Chrome. We support Safari if you're on a Mac as well, and of course Edge, Microsoft's new Internet Explorer. And the wonderful thing about Draftworx Cloud is this ability to be portable. So we're all used to, well, I suppose not all of us. Historically, you're used to using a desktop solution for accounting and basically working. Very much in the last few years, we've all ported to cloud. So now there's cloud accounting, there's your cloud email for Gmail or Outlook, although I still prefer the desktop app for Outlook. And basically the whole world is moving to cloud. And so are we. Now with the cloud comes some interesting technology that we're able to utilize. We kind of don't have to abide by the rules of the desktop. We just have to abide by some rules around a web browser. So that brings in some really innovative stuff. And it also brings around a change in the way licensing works. Okay. So a desktop environment, everyone tends to have a desktop license, and you install it on a PC, and you can do unlimited entities, whether it's with Draftworx or like the likes of Pastel Partner, unlimited entities for a set fee. Okay. With cloud, pricing changes. So if we look at Pastel Partner as an instance, unlimited entities because it's sitting on your hardware, it's sitting on your infrastructure. When you switch to the likes of Sage One, you now get a charge per entity because it's sitting on their infrastructure. They're providing the security, the backups, all of that around us, and then it becomes a monthly fee. So we're a bit different to that. We have our desktop product, but our cloud product isn't a monthly fee. It's pretty much a pay-as-you-go system. So with Draftworx Cloud, sign up is free of charge. Pop over to draftworx.com, hit the cloud login, or go down to the cloud sign up, and it will jump you to the screen. Okay. Well, it will actually, let me just log out. It will pop you to the screen. Okay. So if you don't have an account, you can click sign up, and you'll go through the account sign up process where it's just really specifying your name, your email address, etc. Really quick, it takes a minute. Once you've cleared that, you can then log in, and you're going to be presented with a screen very much like this. I've got a lot of clients because I've done a lot of demos and we've helped out a lot of clients. So my client list is starting to get quite full. You would have nothing, but what we're doing for COVID and the rise of what we call the part-time accountants, we're going to pop you 300 Rand prepaid credits, which will get you started on your first few sets of financial statements. Okay, on us. So as I was speaking about COVID and the rise of the part-time accountant, we've seen a massive increase in the amount of accountants available in the South African market, which has been fantastic for businesses, and it has been great for the industry. We did have almost a bit of a short list in terms of accountants a few years ago, but thankfully the business is thriving for accountants, and of course the institutes are helping with that massively. Okay, so just to talk about drafting a set of financial statements, and I'll be talking about the South African context. I assume everybody here is from South Africa. If you're not, we do localize several other countries. So if you are attending from a neighborhood country or even from the UKI, we now have UKI available too. Okay, so talking about creating an entity. So I've opened up my Draftworx cloud account, and now I want to create my first client. So we brought a client on board. They need to do financial statements. We need to prepare a set for them. Okay. Now, in the South African context, we need to take the Companies Act into account. And we need to take a few other little items into account in terms of choosing what type of entity we're going to be drafting for and what applicable framework we have to apply. So we have our client name. We're simply going to put in, let's call it software sales, Pty Ltd, select the country, and then we have the frameworks that we have to select. Okay. So what is a framework? Framework is basically a template, and it's a template for the type of entity you are doing. So very simple. If I'm doing a body corporate, I can use the body corporate. If I'm doing a CC, I can use the closed corporation. IFRS SME is the blanket PTYs, and of course the standard that goes with it. IFRS, so if you're doing a listed entity, you can do a listed entity on Draftworx Cloud. Management packs, 12-month balance sheet, income statement, NPC, NPO, partnership, school, new template on desktop as well. School is now available. Sole prop and trust. Okay. You would notice there are some latest tags out there. Please just use the latest. The plus templates are our new forever templates. Anything non-plus is legacy, and they will be phased out in due course. Okay, so I just have to have a look at what type of client I'm doing. So has the company come to me, a Pty Ltd, and they've requested, please do a draft financials for me, and I go, fantastic, yes. Select IFRS SME. Okay. CC if it's a CC, or sole prop if they're a sole proprietor, and you're just preparing their financials. Now, with each type of entity comes some certain complexity. And with that complexity, we apply a charge. So if we look, my sole prop will be 50 Rand, my trust will be 100, partnership 100, NPO, NPC 100, monthly management pack 100, IFRS SME 200, because there's a little bit more complexity. IFRS Plus 2000. Okay, why? Because IFRS is a lot of complexity. And if you don't have to do IFRS, please don't draft IFRS. We get a lot of clients that want to draft IFRS financial statements because it sounds very fancy. Avoid like the plague if you don't need to do it, and it'll make life much easier for you. Okay, so you'll see that IFRS Plus is substantially more because that tends to be for an ultra large and complex entity, and the template is much more complex. Okay. However, for most of the other entities, you're going to be using an IFRS SME or CC, which is 100, 200 Rand. Okay. So I'm going to select that we're doing a PTY for 200 Rand. And then we go down to our next selection. So the next selection is methodology. So what is a methodology? Well, methodology is the type of assurance engagement you're going to be applying to the financial statements that you're drafting. Okay. So in South Africa, we have to apply something called the PI score, which takes a whole bunch of data about the company, and we can jump into that a little bit later. Whole bunch of data about the company, and then it tells you what type of assurance engagement you have to do. And there are a lot of people that actually don't understand PIS or aren't aware about PIS. It's actually something that we hit on often. I know that for the mainstream accountants, that's a surprise, but PIS and retained income is an issue in South Africa that we see on all of the support feedbacks. Okay, so we're going to touch on both. So just back to the methodology and the PI score, we'll jump into the PI score, but the PI score will tell you what type of assurance engagement you need to do.
I hope that you enjoyed that video. For more of our webinar videos, go to www.accountingacademy.co.za. Thank you and have a lovely day.